Thank you. Hi, so I'm Katie Russell from Onzo. Pleasure to be here, and thank you to the organisers and the sponsors for the event. I think a lot of you probably know Onzo already. We've been in attendance at these workshops since they started. We're based here in London, if you don't know, and we were founded back in 2007, and we offer energy data services to utility companies. Something that I wanted to share, because it's been a theme of previous conferences here, is a discussion on the use cases for disaggregation. As I've hinted, we're more than a disaggregation company. We offer a wider range of energy services, and we derive a wider range of energy insights. And we felt that in order to understand the use case for the technology, we really needed to meet a lot of utilities and speak with them. And having engaged with over 100 utilities, we feel that we've got a good understanding of the market, and I wanted to share that with you today. So there's two consistent drivers from what we found from utilities over the world. One is that utilities want to take part in the digital transformation that has already revolutionised other industries like banking and telecoms. They want to digitise their relationship with the customer, because if they don't, someone else will. And then secondly, they want to, at a deeper level, understand residential consumption and influence customer behaviour. Now, the reasons for that do vary by market, and I've picked out the three markets where Onzo focuses. We chase the data, so where there are smart meters, that's where we operate. So for example, in Australia, there's a really high degree of customer churn, up to 40% per year, but actually even some of the better utilities on the league tables have still got around 20% churn, which is a huge number and a huge cost. So if they can digitise the customer relationship, then they get better loyalty. In the UK and Europe, there's a whole range of challenges. Churn is one. One particularly interesting challenge is the increase in distributed energy resources and the impact that's happening on the grid, on demand and forecasting there. And then over to the US, Chris Holmes did a really nice job in his keynote talk of summarising the challenges around demand. And so that's, again, the driver for understanding residential consumption and influencing the behaviour. So what do Onzo do with those use cases? It's all about digitising the customer relationship. And if you're a utility who wants to better understand your customer, then we offer Onzo Insights. And that enables you to, for example, use segmentation or decision data for marketing or operational purposes. Onzo Engagement is all about that customer relationship. And we have a cloud-based platform, so it's super easy to deploy with us. You can take our app or you can use our standard APIs. But I'm going to move on to what we were asked to share about, which is what's unique about your product. And thank you, Krish, for mentioning one of the pieces before. We operate across smart meter or sensor data. So whether you have a wide range of customers already with AMI data or smart meter data from 15 to 60 minutes, or whether you want to understand the art of the possible with sensor data around 10-second level, then we were after that. And our clients tell us that we were one of the first in the market, indeed the first in the market, to offer a whole bill breakdown solution. So a lot of you in the room will know that if you've got 10-second data, there's a range of appliances which naturally drop out, which are easier to disaggregate. The white goods appliances like washing machine, dishwashers. And that's great, but what utilities actually want is transparency with their customers. They want to disaggregate the whole of the bill. And so even though some of the categories like lighting, electronics are more difficult to disaggregate with 10-second data, they still want to offer that transparency to the customer of giving an indication of what the breakdown of the bill is like. And so Onzo set about a hybrid approach, combining NILM-like techniques with more statistical techniques so that a whole bill breakdown could be offered to the customer. We actually have taken that to market and tested it and asked the customers, how representative is this for you? And 100% of them, it was a trial of 20, because you'll be asking that, all said that it was representative for them. Another first was to offer insights alongside customer engagement. So that's where a utility, again, wants to use this data as decision-making data, offering data that's relevant for demand response programs, which customer should be on which program, and most importantly, why, and how can you influence them? Which tariff is right for my customer? And also, how do I potentially monetize some of this data I've got a better insight into the customer, but what can I do with it? What new revenue streams might be open to me as a utility? This one I'm really excited about, and I'm by no means going to claim that we were the first to apply deep learning to NILM, because Jack Kelly's in the room, and in fact he was a great inspiration to us. But it was a first for us to apply deep learning to NILM, and what I mean is we started out with Hart's edge-based detection technology using classification and clustering, and it worked. It's a solid technique. It works well. Definitely not going to knock that. And at the same time, we've always been close to the academic community, and we've been seeing the other approaches that were researched and tested in a deep level in academia. But none of them really seemed that they would have a step change impact. And so we saw the approaches, we saw the techniques, but we stuck with tried and tested, validated Hart edge detection technology. And then Jack's paper came along, and we saw how deep learning had revolutionized other industries, and we very quickly decided to adopt that. And we haven't looked back. It's worked extremely well. It's enabled things like solar homes, so a home that's got a photovoltaic panel. You can disaggregate it. All you have to do is feed that in as training data with the right inputs, and the deep neural network has learned what it needs to do with it. It's almost magic, except it's not. And if you're excited by it, you can tell I'm excited by it. We've actually got a more detailed talk tomorrow. One of our data scientists, Marcel Horstman, is going to go into the detail of how we've trained that model, how it works. So thank you again, Jack. Another first for us was the ability to enable new business models. This is a bit of an advert. Is there anyone here from the Netherlands? Oh, what a shame. Okay, YouTube. So Bundles is one of our clients, and Bundles is they offer appliances that you can rent, and you pay as you go rather than paying by the month or paying by the day. But in order to know how many times you've used the appliance, then you need a NILM-like technology. And so that's enabled a new business model. And it's an advert for them, because the more customers Bundles get, the more we get as well. And then the last first for us is starting to work with consumer behaviour experts. So we always believed that the insights that you could get from energy data would have a wider application outside of the utility sphere alone. But it was still a great confirmation for us when we were first approached by Kantar several years ago to actually start to investigate our disaggregation technology and apply it towards consumer behaviour research. And more recently, we've been working with Procter & Gamble as well. So that's been an extremely exciting time for us to see how disaggregated data can be applied to new use cases in consumer research. And that's all. Thank you.